Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Matters Ago. Now today I want to talk about documentaries. The reason being is that I get really disappointed that there's people out there who think documentaries are boring, just across the board boring. There are a lot of documentaries that I've watched about things that I've liked, that I've thoroughly enjoyed for obvious reasons, getting to learn more and get a more in-depth knowledge about the things that I like when it comes to entertainment, art, etc, etc. But another type of documentary I like is what I like to call the random choice, when you're just flicking through TV and one pops up. Like the other week I saw one on television that was completely awesome. I was totally blown away from how much it just spun around and became awesome. And I think it's pronounced The Queen of Versailles or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Anyhow, basically what it's about is there's this dude, right? He sells timeshares. How timeshares works is they get loans off the banks to pay for properties that they rent out and get people to pay off in their timeshare loans. Now basically what it means is that they're constantly in debt because they've always got to expand to make more properties, so they got more to sell. And this guy got greedy and just kept going bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The debt got more and more and more. He thought the money would keep coming in, and bang! GFC comes along and just kicks that chair from out under him and he's hanging by the rope. And it's an absolutely amazing documentary just because when it begins you think you're just going to watch basically a girl who was a beauty queen who got picked up by a rich guy enjoying life because they're about to build the biggest house in America and all this awesome stuff's going on. But it is kind of awesome when the twist comes around and boom, they're just going to hit rock bottom. And I know it's horrible to watch someone hit rock bottom and enjoy it, but go watch the film and you'll understand why I enjoyed it. Another one is Louis Theroux, or however you pronounce his goddamn name. Amazing documentarian. Basically what he does is a very simple interview style kind of documentary. He just goes to where the story is happening and interviews the people involved. And he's made some fucking marvellous ones. I'm a wrestling fan. The first one I saw was about the wrestling industry, where he took a look at that. It opened my eyes to a few things in wrestling, considering I was only 10 years old at the time. And I also just really like the way this guy makes documentaries. And he's done documentaries from things like crystal meth to black nationalists to Nazis, everything. And it's all informative and great fucking television. But some people would say, oh, it's nerdy and boring, I'm gonna go watch some fucking Borat. Ugh. No, man, you're really doing yourself a disservice if you just completely dismiss all documentaries. I watched a documentary about Justin Timberlake. I really dislike Justin Timberlake's music, all of it. NSYNC, whatever he did in the Mickey Mouse Club, all the way through to his solo career and all that bullshit that he did. But the documentary about him was it was interesting. You know, I didn't find new respect for him, but it was an interesting documentary and I'm glad I watched it. I watched a documentary, believe it or not, I watched a documentary on how cheese was made. Came up randomly on the Discovery Channel and guess what? It was goddamn awesome. I have my eyes open to how cheese is made. What about Dirty Jobs? That's another good documentarian style kind of thing. Documentaries are really awesome. I reckon documentaries should get more credit than they get. I mean, think about it. One of the biggest movies in the last decade was Jackass, which is just a bunch of idiots running around hurting each other. And yes, I am a fan, but I will admit it's a pretty stupid thing. But not many documentaries are competing with it or anything. There hasn't been a documentary that just took over the whole fucking, what do they call it? The charts for movies or whatever. I don't know what they fucking call it, but whatever. You don't see documentaries taking out the highest stakes, the biggest money and whatnot. It's always silly crap like Avatar and unimaginative dribble like Avatar. It's just boring crap that gets there, but everyone's ignoring these documentaries. And I'm telling you, the greatest documentary isn't Super Size Me. I'd call that an amateurish attempt at a documentary. It wasn't that good. I personally don't like that guy's documentary style. It's just too simple and basic and just gets to the point without leading you there. It just goes to the point. I kind of like it when you're led there and you learn things along the way. I mean, we all knew that eating McDonald's for an entire month is a fucking horrendous idea, especially if you're going to supersize everything. You didn't have to watch the movie to know that could potentially kill you. So his documentary style is kind of boom to the point. Michael Moore is similar, but he does it in a way that you get more information. It's not as to the point, if you know what I'm saying. You do learn things along the way. And documentaries are all over the place on all sorts of subjects. Anything you like, anything you haven't heard of. The way I found out about Satanism, real Satanism, not like, whoa, Satan, man, let's go sacrifice some babies. Bloody tryhards on the internet pretending to be Satanism. But the real Satanists, like the Temple of Set and Anton LaVey and all that, was through just watching random documentaries. A lot of people go on YouTube and they type in, I don't know, lady dildoing, and that's the thing they're going to go look at. I look at documentaries. I watched a fucking documentary on NWA, and goddamn, that was one of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen. It was brilliant. You wouldn't think that a band like that, when you hear it and you're not within the social context, you think it's just one thing, and then you watch that documentary and it's like, wow, that really made a difference. They were hunted by the FBI. That's goddamn amazing. Documentaries are the fucking shizzle, man. Why aren't... Oh, documentaries are so good. And that's why I like ranting as well, because you're telling people what you know and spreading knowledge. And that's what entertainment should be about. Yes, have an interesting story, but teach me a few things. Teach me how to understand other people's situations. That's why old movies were great. I can understand why people hold those in such high regard. Like a movie like The Man with the Golden Arm. When that came out, people didn't understand how destructive heroin could be, but after seeing that, it opened their eyes. I mean, you know, you gotta look at things beyond surface level, you know. And that's all I gotta say. Come on, people, watch more documentaries. I really feel bad that you have that opinion and you're missing out, because documentaries are great. And yes, at times, we can't just watch documentaries all the time. We've got to watch a little bit of stupid. So, you know, pick up your wrestling DVDs or a copy of Jackass or something, and yes, take a break. But dude, you don't do yourself a disservice of just dismissing all of them, because you're going to miss out. I'm telling you, documentaries are the goddamn bee's pajamas. I just tried to fucking jam as many catchy things in there and it failed. But anyway, documentaries, people, enjoy them. And that is all from the man who always talks in front of the camera with the banner that says Matters Ago behind him.